everyone for being here. It's so nice to be in a room with human beings who are embodied. We want to let people know that we are grateful that you are here. We are, as you know, adhering to CDC guidelines. We know that you'll be wearing your masks during the service. The Cantor and I, after many, many meetings with our reopening task force, have been told that as both of us have been vaccinated for several weeks, that it is safe for us to be here without masks on the bima. So that is why you are seeing us not wearing masks at this moment. But we are grateful for the ability to be together and to celebrate this wonderful, wonderful Shabbat with the Ziegelbaum family, as Zachary is called to the Torah this Shabbat as a bar mitzvah, and as we have the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania premiere of a World Music Shabbat that the Cantor will introduce in just a moment. It feels that given the events in Israel and Mount Meron, it would be not so much irresponsible, but as to be quite insensitive to begin a joyful service with music and song without acknowledging the tragedy that occurred in Israel on Lag BaOmer. And so I wanted to begin what we hope and know will be a joyous Shabbat with a prayer of reflection and remembrance for those who died in Israel, with the words of a prayer that I've adapted from Rabbi Naomi Levy for the circumstances of these past 36 hours. Our hearts are breaking, God, as the Jewish people prepares to bury 45 souls who had come to celebrate Lag BaOmer and revel in a period of history that historically recalls the cessation of bloodshed. Send comfort and strength, God, to grieving parents, to siblings, family, and friends in this time of shock and mourning. Shield them from despair. Send healing to those who are injured of body and injured of spirit. Let their fears give way to hope. Let their cries eventually give way once more to laughter. Bless us, God, and work through us. Turn our helplessness into action. Teach us to believe that we can rise up from this tragedy. Open our hearts and open our hands so that we may be moved to act and to support those who have been affected. O healer of the brokenhearted, God of the living and God of the dead, gather the souls of the victims into your eternal shelter. Let them find peace in your presence, God. Their lives have ended, but their lights can never be extinguished. May they shine on us always and help to illuminate for us the way. And let us say, Amen. This time I'd like to invite our Chazan, Cantor Jacob Agar, to introduce this unique Kabbalat Shabbat service that we are about to experience.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's so great to see people here in the sanctuary finally. So this evening, we're debuting the World Music Shabbat. This is a service that I wrote last year in February after I traveled in Spain, in the south of Spain, and I fell in love with the music of flamenco. And particularly what I fell in love with was its passion, its energy, and the sort of fiery drive that it has. And I thought, why not bring this to our synagogue worship? Especially why not bring it to Friday night, which is all about joy and exaltation. The Kabbalistic rabbis who chose the Psalms for Friday night, they chose Psalms that specifically expressed great joy and exaltation. For example, one of them says, "Let the sea roar, let the rivers applaud in exaltation, let the mountains all echo earth's joyous song." It's all about singing, about music, joy, energy. So this evening, this is what we want to express with the music. Most of this music I wrote last year. One of them I wrote a day ago. I don't know. But so we'd like to invite you to sing along, to clap along, to stand in your seat and dance. Some of these songs talk about the trees dancing like sprinting deer. So maybe we don't have to sprint like deer here, but you can still just dance along to the music. So with that, we're going to begin with Lechun Ranana on page 15. You can again please sing along, clap along, and dance along.
Continue the service on page 16 as we continue with Psalm 96, Shir Ladonai, Shir Chadash. We want to just ask a quick question. Is anyone having a real problem hearing the Cantor sing?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Tell Max.
All right, we want to make sure that people are hearing his beautiful voice, so yes.
Max, if you could just please raise me a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, עשו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו וגויים כבודו בכל העמים נפלאותיו. כי גדול אדוני ומעולם מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, עשו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו וגויים כבודו בכל העמים נפלאותיו. כי גדול אדוני ומעולם מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. והדר לפניו, ועוד בתפארת במקדשו. הבו לאדוני משפחות העמים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז. הבו לאדוני משפחות העמים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, עשו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו וגויים כבודו בכל העמים נפלאותיו. כי גדול אדוני ומעולם מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, עשו מיום ליום ישועתו.
Wow. This is awesome. We're only two psalms into Kabbalat Shabbat. It's amazing. We are continuing on page 17, or Zarua, 2 lines from the bottom of the page, Psalm 97.
You can hear me now? Awesome.
Awesome. Good, good.
Or zarua la tzadik ula yishre lev simcha
We are now going to continue with the sounds of the sitar, along with all of the other instruments, and the Chazan is going to lead us in Psalm 98 on page 18, another Mizmor, Shir Ladonai, Shir Chadash, let's sing to God a new song. And you're going to hear the Chazan singing above, along with the music, and inviting all of us to daven along to the prayer in our own way, in our own pace, as we listen to him and the music above.
So with this, we want to create a soundscape. I will be singing and imitating an Indian bansuri, which is a high flute instrument. At the same time, I want to invite everyone, and the Rabbi will be leading this, to pray in the traditional manner the words in Hebrew on page 18. So we'll create a soundscape all together in this room, a meditative soundscape with the sitar.
Going to continue now on page 19. Join with us 3 lines from the bottom with Romam. We continue now on page 20, Mizmor LeDavid, Psalm 29, page 20.
I just wanted to mention that this Mizmor David and also that Indian piece, they are written in the traditional Jewish Adonai Malach Nusach, which is the Nusach or mode or style of singing that we're supposed to sing on Friday evening. And it's a kind of mode that it's like a regular major scale, but part of it is changed. It's just the Jewish way. And so the Indian piece played with that, and this next one is also written in this traditional Nusach mode. Hafal Adonai.
Ishtachavu l'Adonai
We are now going to come to the heart of the Kabbalat Shabbat service. We're going to continue with Lecha Dodi on page 21 of your Siddur. We're going to be doing the first, second, and last verses on page 21. We'll invite those who are able to rise to face the police station. Not now at this moment, when we get to the final verse on the bottom of 22, to welcome the Shekhinah. We face the entrance to the sanctuary. I was just joking about the police station. To welcome the Shekhinah when we get to the last verse on page 22.
Part of my inspiration to write a Spanish-inspired service for Kabbalat Shabbat is that the Kabbalists themselves are of Sephardi origin. And most of them came to Sfat in the land of Israel from Spain when they were kicked out with the Inquisition. And so they carried these Spanish roots with them. So with that you'll hear, and Lecha Dodi was written by the famous Kabbalist Shlomo Alkabetz, Rabbi Shlomo Alkabetz. So that's why we have a Spanish feel for this piece.
Please be seated. I believe our last piece for this World Music Shabbat will be on page 23 as we continue with Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, a song for this day of the Sabbath, page 23. Yasher Koach to Chazan Agar and to these wonderful musicians on extraordinary Kabbalat Shabbat. It's hard to go from such joy and such beautiful music to a somber note for those who are remembering loved ones, but we will conclude our Kabbalat Shabbat service with the words of Mourner's Kaddish. We invite those of you who are in the process of mourning to please rise and turn with me to page 24 on your prayer book. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbi B'yalma divra hirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon v'yomechon V'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'yimru Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shemei Rabbi mevorach li'olam Omei Almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shmei dekudesha berichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma v'yimru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru. Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru.
Amen.
Amen. Just a moment, we're going to begin the evening service, and we are going to, in a few moments from now, invite our bar mitzvah to help lead part of the service. Not at this moment, Zach, but you should be probably not in that inside part of the row, but you'll get to us. And by the way, I want everyone to admire an extraordinarily beautiful jacket that our bar mitzvah boy or young man is wearing. It is a very stylish jacket. And we'll make sure that we get a close-up on the Zoom here, Zach, when you get in, so we can see that jacket. So we want to invite everyone to, with those beautiful, beautiful melodies still stirring in our hearts, to begin now to prepare for the evening service. We begin on page 28, and we invite all who are able to rise to feel free to do so as we face Yerushalayim. We face east for the Baruch Hu. We invite you to be seated as we continue now privately, Ma'ariv Aravim. We daven together now, page 29, Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam Bet Yisrael.
Ahavat Olam Bet Yisrael.
ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Shema Adonai
Eloheinu Adonai echad.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשלתך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לו תותפות בין עיניך, ובטחתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
והיה אם שמוע תשמעו מצוותי אשר אלוהים צווכם, ישמרו לכם ונפתה. נותן לכם ושמתם דבריהם. אדוני אלוהיכם לתת לכם כימי השמיים על הארץ.
ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל וקראת עליהם, ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי להם בדורתם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנעל בתלתהלה, ויעלכם לציצית וראיתם אותו, וספרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תקטרו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, ואתם קדושים אלוהיהם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתיכם לארץ מצרים, להיות להם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
And we're continuing now on page 32 of your prayer book, the middle of the page, as we continue with Michamocha.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה לישראל קנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
We continue now on page 33 with Hashkivenu.
השכיבנו אלוהינו שלום ימנו ושמור צדק לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם ופרוס להם סוכה שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Amen. Join us on page 34 as we continue with Vishamru.
כי ששת
At this time, we want to invite those of you who are able to rise to do so. We continue the service with Chatzi Kaddish, page 34, some time for our own private prayer and reflection as the Amidah will be followed, pages 35 through 38. Amen.
ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן יש מרב מבורך לעולם ולעלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן ויעלמה ויאמרו
Those of you who are still davening, please continue to do so. Those of you who have concluded should join with Chazan in Oseh Shalom, the melody from Nava Tehillah, page 38 of your prayer book. יושבי תבל ואמרו Shalom b'brama, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל now with Kaddish Shalem, page 48.
יתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברי קירותי ונקנקותי בחיוכון ובמקום ובחית כל בית ישראל הגלה זכאי וימרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל השם דקודשה בריחו לבקו וקדם ושירתה תושבקתה ונחמתה דאמירם בעלמא וימרו אמן תתקבל צודקו נבואותיהון דכל ישראל קדם ומבואן נביאים וימרו אמן יהי שלום הרב נשמיה בחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו אמן עושה שלום בבלמיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו אמן.
If you're able to rise, we invite you to do so. The Chazan will lead us in Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitcha mitzvotav veratzavanu b'shabbat kodesho b'yahava uvra'atzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tefilah למקרא קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך ביהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני וקדש השבת אמן לחיים.
While we're still standing, we invite you to turn ahead with us to page 55 as we prepare to count the Omer. We'll join together in the bracha on the bottom of the page, and then count tonight's night of the Omer, remembering that we just concluded Lag BaOmer, the 33rd day of our counting. Please join me in the bracha, page 55. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Hayom arba'a v'shloshim yom, shehem arba'a shavuot v'shisha yamim omer. Tonight marks our 34th night in our counting of the Omer, which are 4 weeks and 6 days in our counting. We turn back now to page 51 as we continue with Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon na'kol לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל המונם ואנחנו גורלים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. נשמע בסרט מה שקרה. על כן נקבל אחד מהן. ככתוב בתורתך אדוני מלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
sadness that we inform the community of the passing of Arlene Solomon, mother of Howard Solomon. We will be sending out information about the funeral in Shiva after Shabbat. The funeral is scheduled to take place Monday at 10:30 a.m. at Goldstein's Southampton Chapel, and once we meet with the family on Sunday, we will have more information about Shiva. At this time, we invite those who are in the process of mourning or observing the yard site to remain standing as we continue with Kaddish Yatom on page 52 of your prayer book. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. B'agala u'vizman kariv yimru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach v'olam umei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudasha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechamata. Damiran v'yalma v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav u'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru.
Amen.
We ask God who brings peace on high to bring peace and comfort to those of you who are remembering loved ones. I want to just say by way of preparing to conclude that there is a great deal of reason to feel joy and gratitude for reaching this moment. First, it has been a while since we have gathered in the main sanctuary at Beth Sholom congregation together for a Kabbalat Shabbat service, and to do so together, to hear such extraordinarily beautiful music on World Music Shabbat is truly a gift and a privilege. On this, the Shabbat in which Zach is called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah. Tonight was just a little appetizer, Zach, as we know. Tomorrow will be the main course. We will be here at 10 a.m. to celebrate with you, Zach, and to listen and to learn from Zach as he teaches us Torah and chants Torah and Haftarah and helps lead the service tomorrow. So we are very much looking forward to that. We want to acknowledge that we have many of you who may be watching us through our live stream feed tonight, and we hope that you've been able to get a sense of the power of the music and that we have been celebrating with and singing with tonight. And want to say Yasher Koach to Chazan Agar, who conceived, obviously composed this beautiful music and led us in such an extraordinary Kabbalat Shabbat service tonight. Lots and lots to let you know about in terms of upcoming events. Also, just to let people know that while we have been here davening, there have been about 20 of our teens who have been having a teen service together, the first time that they've been able to gather in person for a while in the courtyard of Beth Sholom congregation. So they are enjoying dinner together now, having had their own Kabbalat Shabbat service as well. So life back in the community, it's beginning to happen, and it's a wonderful, wonderful gift that we are able to be together. I don't want to bore you at this time with all the many, many exciting upcoming events. If I name them all, you would be here for another 10 minutes, which you would resent me for. So why build resentment on Shabbat? Just read Beth Sholom in your home, which comes to you every Sunday with all kinds of interesting and important information. We want to invite you on your way out. You'll be heading out the door where Robin is standing at the end of the service. We'll try to just invite you to leave gently so that we don't all come at the same time. And if you'll take your siddur with you on your way out and put them on the shelf where Robin is, we would appreciate, our housekeeping staff would appreciate that as well. I'd like to ask our Cantor, Chazan Agar, to just thank our musicians who helped make this night so beautiful.
I want to thank these amazingly talented musicians who helped make this happen. Sam Gorelik on the guitar, he was playing flamenco guitar. Tess Zakreski on bass, Lisa Stein also on guitar, Fred Peritsky on percussion, and Kobe Goodwin on sitar, piano/organ. So thank you to all of you.
And we will now conclude our service of Adon Olam on page 54 of your prayer book.
Adon Olam asher malach b'derem kol yetzir nivra li'et nasav v'chefzo kol azal melech shemo nikra v'yacharei giglot hakol levado yimloch nora vehu haya vehu oved vehu yeh b'divara Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra v'yet nasav v'chefzo kol azal melech shemo nikra v'yachar giglot hakol levado yimloch nora vehu haya vehu oved vehu yeh b'divara Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra v'yet nasav v'chefzo kol azal melech shemo nikra v'yachar giglot hakol levado yimloch nora vehu haya vehu oved b'divara vehu haya vehu oved b'divara v'yacharei giglot hakol levado yimloch nora vehu haya vehu oved vehu yeh b'divara Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra v'yet nasav v'chefzo kol azal melech shemo nikra v'yachar giglot hakol levado yimloch nora vehu haya vehu oved vehu yeh b'divara Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra v'yet nasav v'chefzo kol azal melech shemo nikra v'yachar giglot hakol levado yimloch nora vehu haya vehu oved b'divara
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.